What's the worst thing that happened at a wedding you attended? I was the maid of honor at my best friend Mia's wedding when her future mother-in-law Jennifer stood up during the ceremony and announced she had something important to say. The entire church went silent. Mia's face went white. Jennifer walked to the front with this sick smile on her face and pulled out her phone. Before my son makes the biggest mistake of his life, everyone needs to see what kind of woman he's really marrying. She started playing a video on her phone, volume turned all the way up. It was Mia in a hotel room with another man in an inappropriate situation. The audio was crystal clear. Mia was sobbing, shaking her head, mouthing, "That's not me," to her fiancé Johnny. But the woman in the video looked exactly like her. Johnny's face went from confusion to rage in seconds. "Is this real, Mia? Tell me this isn't real." Mia was hyperventilating, trying to speak, but nothing was coming out. Half the wedding guests were recording this with their phones. Her parents looked devastated. Jennifer was practically glowing with satisfaction. "I hired a private investigator 6 months ago because I knew something was wrong with this girl. Johnny deserves better than a cheating woman." The church erupted in gasps and murmurs. Mia's grandmother had to be helped to her seat. That's when I noticed something. The timestamp on the video said last Tuesday, but I knew for a fact Mia was with me at my cousin's funeral in Portland last Tuesday. We drove there together and stayed in the same hotel room. I grabbed Jennifer's phone and looked closer. The woman in the video had a butterfly tattoo on her shoulder blade. Mia doesn't have any tattoos. I've known her since we were 12, and I've seen her in bathing suits hundreds of times. "This video is fake," I announced loudly. "Mia was with me in Portland when this was supposedly filmed, and she doesn't have that tattoo." But Jennifer snatched her phone back and started screaming about how I was just covering for my trashy friend. The private investigator was there in the back row. Jennifer called him up to verify his evidence. This greasy guy in a cheap suit walked up front and started explaining how he'd followed Mia to the hotel. But when I asked him which hotel, he said the Marriott downtown. The problem? There is no Marriott downtown in our city. There never has been. I pulled up Google Maps on my phone and showed everyone. The guy started backtracking, saying he meant the Hilton, but then couldn't remember which street it was on. Mia finally found her voice. "Jennifer, you paid someone to create fake compromising content of me using AI. That's not just illegal, it's sick." She turned to Johnny, who was just standing there in shock. "I have never cheated on you. I have never even been to whatever hotel that video claims to show." Jennifer started screaming that we were all lying, that the investigator was legitimate, but the guy was already trying to sneak out the back of the church. Johnny's dad stopped him and demanded to see his PI license. Turns out he didn't have one. He was just some random guy Jennifer found on Craigslist who makes deepfake videos meant to harm reputations. The truth came out piece by piece. Jennifer had been planning this for months because she hated Mia and wanted to destroy the wedding. She'd paid this creep $2,000 to create a convincing fake video using photos from Mia's social media. She'd even coached him on details about our city to make his story believable, but he'd screwed up the hotel name. Johnny was horrified. He turned to his mother and said, "You tried to destroy the woman I love with fabricated content. You are never speaking to my wife or our future children ever again." Jennifer started crying and claiming she was just trying to protect him, but it was too late. The wedding continued, but Jennifer was escorted out by Johnny's brothers. The fake investigator was arrested for fraud and creating fake videos without permission. Mia and Johnny are still married 3 years later, and Jennifer has never met her grandchildren. But the worst part? Some of the wedding guests still believe the video was real, even though it was proven fake in front of everyone. They whisper about Mia at family gatherings and treat her like she's damaged goods. Truth doesn't matter when people want to believe the worst about someone. Jennifer spent 6 months in jail and had to pay $50,000 in damages for the deep fake fabricated content. But she still tells people that Mia is a cheater, and I helped cover it up. Some lies never die, no matter how thoroughly they're debunked.